Hey, hey, hey! Hey, cheese lovers over there! Delicious, scrumptious, yummy, tasteful, luscious. All those kind of words can describe the cheese. And for you, the cheese lover, let's go. We learn about the cheese.
Ever wonder how milk become a cheese? Actually, bacteria help turn the liquid into a solid, and sometimes cheese are smelly. You know that? The other day, I grabbed a carton of milk from the refrigerator for my bowl of Rice Krispies. When I poured the milk, I did not hear the snap, crackle, pop I'd been expecting. Instead, I heard a popping sound as a clump of white, smelly goo covered the cereal. When I looked at the cartoon more closely, I saw the milk was 2 weeks past its expiration date. So, instead of milk, I had poured a crude form of a cheese on my cereal. But this situation made us curious about a cheese. So, guys, let's get started. Most people know that a cheese is made from a milk. In the United States, milk usually comes from cows. However, in some part of the world, people get dairy products from goats, buffalo, sheep, camels, reindeer, or even the yaks. So, how does a bucket of milk become a cheese? Milk contains 2 types of protein, which is we have casein and second one is whey. The reason expired milk become cheesy is that bacteria in the milk grow rapidly when it gets old. The bacteria digest the milk sugar, which is known as lactose, producing lactic acid as a result. Lactic acid causes the casein to curdle or separate into lumps and give the milk a sour smell. Once the casein has curdled, whey protein is left behind as a thin, watery liquid. The whey is removed, salt is added, and the curd are cut into smaller pieces and heated to release more whey. The additional whey is drained off, which is leave the clump of a casein. Thus, clumps are passed into mold and left to age for various periods of time. How cheese is made? Thousands of different varieties of a cheese are produced around the world. Depending upon the country, this Asian food can hold significant cultural, nutritive, and economic values. Yet, making cheese all comes down to a few basic steps. Firstly, bring the milk up to temperature and add the starter culture. Warming the milk to between 77 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit stimulates the animal body temperature, which activates the starter culture. The starter culture acidifies the milk, increasing the population of beneficial bacteria. The starter culture works by fermenting the lactose, which is known as natural sugar, in the milk and converting it to lactic acid. When the pH is low enough, the milk will be able to coagulate. Second, add a coagulant, such as rennet. Rennet is an enzyme that occurs naturally in the stomach. The third one is form the mold, the curd, and drain the whey. After coagulating, in step 2, the milk set and is then curd, stirred, and often heated to form the right size curd. The curd are then scooped up or cut and transferred into the perforated form that will determine the final shape of the cheese. After that, salt the cheese. Salt plays several key roles in the cheese productions. It slows down the enzymatic activity, enhances flavors, keeps unwanted organisms away from the cheese, inhibit the bacteria growth, and help form the rind. The last step is age the cheese. During the aging process, the rind develops, with the exception of a fresh cheese. Aging needs to occur in a controlled environment within a specific temperature and humidity range appropriate to the style of a cheese.
Firstly, in a large container, add normal milk. Then shaking the milk manually with the boiling point up to 72 degrees Celsius for 20 to 30 seconds and cooling up to 35 degrees Celsius. Thirdly, adding the culture, slicing horizontally, and again slicing vertically. For the next step, which is remove the water until the cheese left, cutting the cheese bank with a knife, then flipping at every 50. This shows the cheese cube cutter machine, which is used for cutting off the cheese cube into the strips. Then we proceed to the salting process. This process requires to fill the cheese box to the strip by using spatula and wrapping with a cloth. Next, the cheese needs to rub with the pressing machine for at least overnight, which is this process are removing the excess water. After that, we need to pack the cheese into the plastic bag and then moving it into the cool storage. The optimal temperature for the storage should be 4 degrees Celsius, and this process to store the cheese needs 3 up to 6 months or even more.
So, at this section, we will learn about the 10 amazing health benefits of cheese. So firstly, as the source of protein. Protein is necessary for the body to maintain many functions, from a healthy metabolism to healthy muscle regeneration. The protein present in cheese is easily digestible and is especially useful in metabolic process. Secondly, as a source of carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are fuel for the body. The human body runs on carbohydrates and requires them for the generation of energy. Thirdly, fats. Yes, you read that right, where most assumptions about fat being bad for the body may be true, but you know, cheese can be a source of good fats actually. And by which means that eating cheese in moderation can do more good for you than you might realize. Fourth, for healthy bones. Depending on our level of activity, our bones are prone to losing their health quite quickly. In this case, cheese can be an excellent addition to your diet. Fifth, as a healthy heart. Certain varieties of it are good for the functions of the heart. As mentioned previously, the body needs a bit of good fat to keep the functions up and running. 6. For the possible cancer prevention. It can contribute to reducing the risk of contracting cancer. This because it is rich in acids, which are chemicals known for their antioxidant properties. 7th, management and prevention of a disease called osteoporosis. Although considered a condition that comes with age, this disease is a serious threat to people. This illness triggers symptoms such as bone density loss and joint disease. 8. Healthy teeth. Calcium and phosphorus make a winning combination for dental health. The calcium and other minerals present in cheese help maintain the strength and integrity of our teeth well into our old age. 9. As a stress reduction. Studies are being carried out on determining the reason for the effects that cheese has on stress and anxiety. Cheese has been observed to reduce panic and anxiety attacks. And lastly, probiotic nature. We all know the benefits of yogurt as a probiotic, but it is not only dairy byproduct that contains good bacteria. So that's all for the benefits of cheese. There are many delicious types of cheese in the world, so let's get to know all the types of cheese. So firstly, we have Monterey Jack. It is origin in California. It also known as Jack cheese. The taste of this cheese is mild flavor and it melts very easily. Next, we have Swiss cheese. It is origin in Switzerland, where the medium is hardened in texture. It actually have hole that make it stand than the other cheese. Actually, it is good for calcium and vitamin B12. The taste is a bit savory, sweet, and salty. 7. We have Gruyere cheese, which is originate in Germany. It have slightly similar to Swiss cheese, and the minimum of shelf life is between 5 months to 1 year. This cheese has hard in texture, but it is slightly yellow in color. It has sweet and slightly tasty taste, and it have varially used in pasta and soup. Number 6, we do have feta cheese. Feta cheese is origin in Greece. It is used in a variety of salads and pastries. It is actually from cow's milk or sheep's milk. It is also have the minimum of shelf life for 3 months. Next, we have brie cheese. Brie cheese is from France. It have soft texture, and unlike other cheese, it is not aged at all because it can create molds and can give smell bad. And some of it are good for protein and vitamin B12. 4th, we have Gouda cheese. Gouda cheese is from Netherlands. It is also from cow's milk. It can mature from the weeks of 4 to 1 year. The more mature it is, the better it tastes. The next top cheese is we have sharp cheddar cheese, which is originated in New York City. This is the most popular cheese that ever across the globe. It comes in 3 types, which is mild cheese, tasty cheese, and extra sharp. It is with acidic and mild and tasty called a New York style cheddar. It is commonly used in cheese tips and pie. The number 2 top is we have Parmesan cheese. I bet some of you know about this. I mean all of you, right? It is actually originated in Italy, and some age from almost 1 year to 3 years. It is popularly called as the king of cheeses. It is served as risottos and pasta and for soup. So the winner for the cheese is a mozzarella cheese, where the various and the famous among all over the world. It is originated in Italy and always used in our pizza and pasta. It is tastes like a semi-sauce texture. So that's all for the type of cheese.
are the 3 additional fun facts about the cheese. First, mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese has a stringy quality because it kneads like a dough before being formed into its final shapes. Second is the Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese is made with a bacteria that produce carbon dioxide. When they digest lactose, the bubble of a carbon dioxide are what create the hole in the cheese. And the third one is a Limburger cheese. It's not a coincidence that some cheese smell funky. Limburger cheese, one of the stinkiest varieties of all the time, get its smell from the same bacteria that cause stinky feet, which is known as Brevibacterium linens. Some people don't mind the smell, but if mom or dad brings home a block of Limburger, be prepared to hold your nose, okay?
So, what are you guys thinking? Can you finally be a cheese expert? Because we think it is a yes. Thank you for listening. Take care, everyone.